This episode features a Mercedes-Benz B200 for sale at an auction. This one is a 2008 model. In summary, it is in a shocking state. If you never got shocked shopping for a car, you will be in here. Well, first of all, let's start with the smart chart, just so we do not forget anything. When shopping for a car, you need to go through exterior condition, engine condition, interior condition, make a test drive if possible, and then finally check the mileage. Paint job. You're looking for inconsistency in the paint job. Panels that seems to be lighter or stronger in color than the rest of the car. Luckily, there is a very accurate small cheap device called paint thickness gauge. It measures how thick the paint is. I should probably get one soon. Body condition. As always, this should be the most obvious part. When you're walking around the car, look for any dings, broken parts, scratches, rust, anything unusual. All around this car, it seems that it did suffer normal wears and tears. Nothing too disturbing though. Except for an unusual gap between the passenger fender and the hood.
It seems that this car has been into an accident because there's too much of a gap over here.
Wheels and tires. First of all, look and see if all four tires are the same make and model, which this car is lacking.
Yokohama. Those are summer tires. Alright? Now, on the other side, winter force. So you have winter force on this side and summer tire on the other side, Yokohama. Same thing in the back. This is Guardex. Again, summer tires on this side and winter force, winter tire on this side.
Then take a simple penny and insert it in between the tire tread. It will give you a rough estimation on how deep they are. Finally, check the rims for scratches, pothole damage, and faded paint.
On the rim, there's too much disc dust, which indicates that the disc need to be changed. Now, it seems that on 4 wheels you need to change disc brakes. There's this rusted dust from disc brakes, which indicates they need to be replaced basically.
Headlamps and all lights. Check if the headlamps are becoming bluish and yellow. This is common with non-UV treated transparent plastic. With time and sunshine, they slowly degrade. This means either the car was sitting too long facing the sun, or the car has simply spent most of its life on the road. This is why sometimes yellow blurred headlamp can give you a rough estimation on the actual mileage. Sunroof. At this stage of the investigation, you simply want to verify that all windows are closed tight and
Here
properly.
there's no sunroof.
Well, in this case, there's no sunroof. Engine. Now, This is the non-turbo 2-liter 4-cylinder transverse engine. All you need to know about that engine is that access to parts all around is very restricted, which means that it's usually a bit more expensive to maintain. By experience, I found out that on this car you have to lower the engine simply to replace the starter. And that, I believe, is a first in the overall car industry. Anyway, back to this car.
Rusted
First of
engine
all,
part.
check the oil level. Then, once that's done, start it up and listen. Ideally, a cold start is the best way for checking an engine. If it's too rough, you know it's usually packing a good weight of mileage. Exhaust gas color. Check the colored gas coming out of the exhaust. Is there any oil as well? Now, there is three main colors that could indicate engine failure: dark black, blue, or white gray. The usual color should not be noticeable in summer and very light gray in winter. Oil leaks. While the engine is running, check for any oil leak under the engine bay. Then take out the dipstick, check the oil level, and try and smell it. It will give you an idea on the oil condition. Good brand new oil should not be unpleasant to smell. Do the same thing with the transmission dipstick, especially if the car is more than 7 years old and equipped with an automatic transmission. I simply know that by experience. The bad news is that recent cars aren't coming with dipsticks anymore, so you can't smell anything. But you usually should still be able to access oil level by the inboard computer. Rusted engine parts. Check for rusted engine parts, usually when a car is not driven for a long amount of time, either because it has been into an accident, waiting to be repaired, or because it's simply not being driven enough. Some parts, as well as engine parts, tend to accumulate surface rust, especially pulleys and disc brakes. Here, all is not good. There is some average rust on a couple of engine parts. Also, while I was investigating the engine bay for rust, I stumbled on something interesting. It turns out there really was a crash on the passenger side front end of the car. As you can see, there is a welding area that seems to have been badly touched up. That finally ended up rusting out. This is mainly why you should not usually trust a crashed and repair car unless you know for a fact that it was repaired with care. Interior, steering wheel, seats, and main condition. Look for any unusual wear and tear on the steering wheel, seats, switches. Anything unusual could be caused by excessive use, which should indicate a relatively high mileage. All windows and sunroof. Check if all windows are working properly. Open them up and close them down.
Here there's no sunroof.
Windshield wipers. Don't forget to check if windshield wipers show any malfunction. Test drive. Finally, if you can, you must take it for a test drive. I would suggest to drive it in city roads until it heats up, then take it on a highway. Turn
Brakes are
off the
good.
radio. I'm sure it will be on because the owner usually don't want you to listen to the car, so turn the radio off and simply ask the
Somebody
owner to
tried
be quiet.
to play
You
over here
just
with the
want
battery.
to be focused. Mileage. After going through the smart chart thoroughly, you really should begin to have an idea on the actual mileage of the car. So check it out at the very end of your investigation. If the shown number makes you uncomfortable, walk away or try and get the best deal as fairly possible. Meanwhile, you while you're checking for mileage, check and see if any cluster
Alright.
lights are on.
So the
That
mileage.
would indicate needed maintenance.
It says 106,000 kilo. I do not believe it. Sorry.
So this was a Benz B200 for sale at an auction. Thank you for watching and shop carefully. By the way, if you're seriously interested in buying a Mercedes-Benz B200, here's one 2010 which also features some shocking discoveries.